Well, uh, now we're at the final part. That's all I guess I can say to that. Let's get right to it. I have to keep moving. I need to be faster. I need to be sharper. I'm guessing this is Karna. Exha- Exhaling sharply with his punches. Empty your mind. Become a pure warrior like you used to. Think back to when all you cared about was getting stronger. But then, this isn't that time anymore. Really, things are much better now. There's no caste system here holding me back. No one looking down on me in disdain for being different. But strangely enough, I can also sense a new kind of restlessness inside me. Maybe it's because I know exactly when my next battle is coming. Santa peaks all too quickly. Once Christmas ends, he just isn't needed anymore. So I have to get stronger, and I have to do it as soon as possible. Oh, no hood. My heart keeps fluttering. I can't seem to stay focused. I have to keep moving or I might just go crazy. I know why I feel like this. It's all because of what he told me yesterday. That was prophetic, Karna. What did you say? It's clear you still have no idea why you weren't able to so much as scratch Vritra. For someone supposedly more devoted to learning and growing than usual, you failed to change at all. That's why you haven't been able to become a true Santa Claus. What do you know about Santa? Not much, I admit, but I do at least know this. The idea that the hero of benefaction, a man who desires nothing for himself and would gladly give away all he owns if asked, can become Santa Claus, is pure fantasy. You'll need to go beyond that to truly become Santa Claus, and you'll never get there as you are now. Can you start a sentence with "and"? I don't think so. Here goes nothing. Karna, got a minute? Oh, Master, of course. I hope you don't mind if I train while we talk. What's up? I want to talk about what Arjuna said yesterday. Do you know what he was talking about, Master? Unfortunately, I don't. I'm sure he was mocking me for being a poor excuse for Santa, but I also don't think that's all there was to it. I would normally never even think of asking you to do this, Master, but I'm afraid you're the only one I can trust with it. After all, nobody else knows me like you do. I meant every word I said to Karna. I truly do think he's been an idiot, and a failure as a Santa. But under these circumstances, I just can't leave it at that. So while I know it's presumptuous of me to even ask, do you think you could check in on him for me, Master? If he still hasn't figured it out, then I'll take responsibility for this and go defeat Vritra myself. I swear it on my father Indra. Indra? Not sure about the correct pronunciation. Maybe he meant there's something besides a lack of training that's stopping me from becoming a true Santa. But if there is, I don't know what could be. Why is being the hero of benefaction alone not enough? I've watched the other Santa Clauses, and I thought I knew what I had to do. Santa is supposed to deliver presents and rule Christmas as its strongest warrior, right? Master, you've known the other Santa Clauses for a long time. Can you think of anything they have that I don't? If you can, please tell me. Maybe it'll help me find the answer I need. Well, in your case, you seem like you've been so focused on giving out gifts that you haven't been enjoying yourself much. It feels like you've been missing out on the joyous part of the holiday. All the other Santas took their duties seriously, too, but they also took time to have fun. But by the time Christmas was over, the other Santas just looked just as happy as everyone else. I see. So Santa Claus also needs fun and joy. A gift he gives not just to others, but also to himself. Of course, anybody who can't even give himself a present could never hope to give them to children around the world. The very idea of such a person claiming to be Santa is ridiculous. Now I see, so this is what Arjuna meant. However, I don't find any joy in serving as Santa. All I have is my desire to be strong, to be a true Santa. Then why not make that your gift? Impossible. I don't have that in my sack. I'd have to be a true Santa before I could give myself that gift. Then why not let other people give it to you? I see. For my own present, my own benefaction, I can give myself the gift of wanting to learn and grow. And to do that, I'll also need to allow myself to receive benefaction from others. If there's something my sack of presents is missing, I should just ask others for it. Basically, I think you've been going about your duties a little too stoically so far. You're right. I thought being Santa was something I had to do on my own. But what I really want is strength to become someone else, like I did when I was standing under Dronya, Asvathaman, Duryodhana, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna. Some of them were enemies, but I may have never become as strong as I did if it wasn't for them. Also, apologies if I butchered any of those pronunciations. So maybe I should do the same thing now. If I can't do this all on my own, I should probably ask for help. Help from someone who may be able to make me stronger. Hey, I depend on others' help all the time. So that's why I've changed my mind. My goal is still to become a true Santa, but now I'm not going to avoid things that will help me reach that goal. From now on, I'm not only going to deliver presents, I'm also going to accept them. That's why I'm here now. Sounds good to me. Believe me, if there's any way we can help, we're happy to do it. I feel the same way. I'm happy to keep supporting you as best as I can from here. So what exactly do you need from us? What I need is to defeat Vritra. Will you lend me your power so I can achieve that? Of course. I already got the other Dragon Slayers lined up, so all you have to do is say the word. Let's see. There's Siegfried, who still hasn't had a chance to shine. And there's also... No, that won't be necessary. I remembered something important. Something Arjuna must have realized too. If we're going to defeat Richa, now that she has the power of the Holy Grail, we're going to need a plan of our own. So instead of a Dragon Slayer, I'd like you to call on... Hans. You do know authors only write stories about dragons, right? We don't actually go and hunt them. Where my specialty nonfiction, I might consider research that's less exciting than finding dragons, but unfortunately for you, I write fairy tales. But alright, fine. I just hope I don't end up as an offer-sized snack. A dragon? That sounds dreadful. Are you sure I'm not going to die? Those are the two you want helping you? That's right. They'll also need help from more combat-focused servants as well. Then allow me to accompany you until the very end. As the one who guiding this journey, I am responsible for seeing it through to completion. The other me entrusted me with eradicating evil on this mission, and I have not yet finished doing so. Of course, I will be there to wield my purging sword. Fortunately, our destination isn't an included singularity anymore, so we only have the usual racial restrictions to worry about now. That said, our resources are still limited, so we do have to consider how many we can afford to send and how well they work together. One moment. Wallabies had to go take care of something. So, in that case, more isn't necessary merrier. Are you sure this is the team you want? I'm sure. I doubt Arjuna will come along. Even if he does, it won't be until he sees how I do in this battle. But then, why would he send his altar along instead? It can't possibly be to help me. There must be some other reason. Alright, let's get this briefing started. Karna, there's a few questions we'd like to ask you. One question session later. Now I see. You're right, your strategy does seem like it could work. Alright then, if everyone's ready, it's time to head to the Himalayas and make Vritra give back everyone's presents. Karna, I'm just going to... This might be a bit tedious. Please skill up, because putting him into this fight. Luckily I have all the necessary ingredients. Well, materials. I think that's enough. All the tapping. And what does the dodge do other than dodge again? Quick card crit strength. I think that should be enough though. Okay. Ooh, New party, just to make things slightly easier. And Saber, just in case, and Mash. I'll go with this setup. Hopefully, oh, almost forgot to change. There. And let's go. Ooh, pretty. When are they going to get here? I'm so bored. Hurry up, I'm so tired of waiting. Master, is that an evil dragon rolling around in the snow? An evil dragon tumbling around like a child? Yep. Ah, so you finally come. Why are you looking at me like that? I wasn't doing anything strange. I like keeping clean, so I was just using the snow to bathe. Babe, you should try it sometimes. It's very refreshing. Well, at least you know she doesn't hibernate. I see the godlike one who bears the face of Indra's child is here, but I don't see the child himself. After I went on my way to honor his request and wait before killing you. Does this mean you know what it is I truly want too, then? No. We're only here to defeat you once and for all. Well, no matter. So I take it that means you found a way to defeat me, even though I've got used to this holy grail thing's power? Her magical energy is incredible. I can already tell they'll never be able to get past her defenses just by fighting like they usually do, but... I know. The secret why our attacks didn't reach you is that the Holy Grail's power drew out the protection you possessed in your legends. You may not have had it when you first materialized, but I'm sure the Holy Grail changed that. After all, that protection was something you always possessed. One of your stories says you formed a contract with the gods that said you could never be slain during the day or night by weapons of wood or stone, or by anything wet or dry. Of course, some people say that story actually originated when the demon Namuchi with the demon Onimi, even though you were frequently treated as the same being. Now we know it was simply some defensive power or magical energy barrier that stopped our attacks from reaching you. It is because of a trait ascribed to you in myth, which means we have ways to get around it. Kihihi. So you knew about my contracts with the gods. Well, that's alright. After all, surely you don't still think you can defeat me with your fists alone, do you? True, my sword has no effect on you, but Sukarna and Beowulf's fists did, at least by comparison. I understand now that the reason for that is they were weapons that were neither wood nor stone, neither wet nor dry. Of course, we haven't forgotten that their attacks never quite reached you, which is why we've gone further today. We've recreated the same circumstances that enabled Indra to defeat you, even bound by your contract. First, he chose to fight you at twilight, which is neither night nor day. And second, he killed you with something that was neither wet nor dry. Foam. I do think as twists go, that could use a little more foreshadowing, but can't deny that fantastical leaps of logic can sometimes be quite engaging for readers. The very idea of fighting a dragon myself is too terrible to consider, but if this is all you need from me, I should be able to manage. I'm no Shakespeare, but wrapping you guys up in foam should still be pretty easy, especially since I won't have to do any editing passes. Enchant, go ahead, take all the tragic foam you need. Allow me to tell you a story. The Queen of Serpents once said, if I'm to be boiled in a pot, collect the first layer of foam that spreads upon the water in a bottle, and drink the second layer yourself. So we're going to do the same thing and defeat you with foam. For foam is something that is neither a weapon, nor wet, nor dry. If you apply some of that to my sword as well, it may not work as well on that as it does on fists, but I'm certain it will still be helpful. It doesn't matter what form the sword of purging takes. All that matters is evil is eradicated. Excellent. That's more like it. Maybe you really will be able to grant my wish after all. I go on then. Let me hear your agonized screams, your pitiful sobs. Let me watch you struggle and fail like insignificant little specks you are. Anderson and Scheherazade's foam enchantments have been applied to everyone in the front line. Everything's ready, Master. Let's get started. Ooh, lots of talking there. Huh. Well, so we're not fighting her first. That should give me some time to do this. Go for the middle one. Okay, let's see how much it gives me. Oh, definitely not enough. I wagered and I failed. I'll leave the other two demons, because that way she only gets to attack once. Over there. Oh. Huh. Thought we were actually going to get to fight her this time. It's working. We have the advantage. Keep it up. Don't give her a chance to recover. Thy dragon, originating from sin. Ascalon. We've got you pinned in the corner. Now we're going to put you down for the count. Ah, I felt that one under my scales. The blow was not as deep as I would have liked, but was enough to throw her off balance. Now finish her off. What are you doing, Arjuna? I thought something felt strange. Now that I wield Samvartakaplapa's sword of recursion, meant to eradicate all evil, his blade has come into contact with this being's very life. I understand now. Master, I need you to tell you something. This dragon is not evil. What? She's not? But all of Richa's legends describe her as an evil dragon. And isn't what she's done with this year's Christmas presents incredibly evil? Maybe it's just an indication that she's not entirely evil after all. What do you think, meh? Given that you don't exactly seem shocked here. I'm guessing you already heard what's going on from Arjuna? Yep, that's exactly what happened. Not that I know. Ooh, yay, flashback. Let me just say this. Richa is said to be an evil dragon, but in one sense, she's also just a natural phenomenon. She's the incarnation of obstacles for humanity, of beings whose purpose is to dam up the world. Let me be as clear as I can about this, Master. As far as humans are concerned, Richa is both an obstacle and a trial, no more, no less. As the legends say, she was responsible for numerous widespread doubts, and each time Indra killed her. But I don't think she caused those doubts with the goal of eradicating humanity. While she did cause them great distress, she also always met her end at Indra's hands, almost like she was fated to do so. This is only conjecture on my part, but, arrogant as she may be, I think she's only giving us, humans and gods and like, obstacles to test us. That is where her true objective lies. At least that's what I think. What is that true objective, you ask? Respectfully, Master, you've seen enough yourself that I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. So did you, Master? Figure out what Richa's true objective is, I mean? It's kinda hard to believe, but... Richa, do you? Like seeing humans and gods work hard to overcome adversity. Hehe, yes I do. I love seeing both weak and insignificant humans and proud, arrogant gods struggle, persevere, wail, and ultimately rise up to prevail over an obstacle they have overcome. It makes my scales quiver in excitement. Think about it. Humans are tiny and weak, and live for barely an instant, right? And gods are powerful and pompous as hell, right? So what could possibly be more entertaining than seeing them huffing, puffing, and working themselves to the bone to take back something I've blocked off? Is she blushing, or is that just my eyesight? Of course, the best part is the moment when they finally managed to overcome what obstacle was in their way. There wouldn't be any point if they were so simply to give up and walk away. No, I want to see you lot struggle and despair before finally rising to the challenge. And I'll gladly be that obstacle myself as many times as I have to, if it means getting to see that. Not even death can stop me. I'll keep coming back to life over and over to stand in your way. Well, she's definitely a huge sadist. Not that we didn't already know that. But I guess that means she's also has a masochistic streak, since she wants the people she torments to overcome her. Seems like a fetish only gods, demon, other nine-mental beings can really participate in. Alright, I understand why she's doing all this now, but don't her actions still qualify as evil? That might not actually be so easy to answer. It really depends on how you define evil. If Richa is just symbolizing natural cycles, like water growing scarce before becoming plentiful, then the question is one of whether the cycles themselves are seen as evil. Humans might think of a drought as evil, but it's not necessarily true for the whole world as a whole. It's just a natural system. Maybe that's why Arjuna Alder doesn't consider things like that to be evil. I guess that could be other reason she said she's not evil, but who knows? He's not exactly chatty. Yeah, now that I think about it, I do get the sense that there's at least one other less obvious reason. Excuse me. Something we still don't know that gets to the heart of who Vricha really is. Be that as it may, she's still tainted with sin. Evil or not, the fact remains she must be defeated. That is simply what it means to be a dragon. That's right, whatever your intentions, what you're doing here is still wrong. And that what I need to do hasn't changed. Yes, that's right. I don't care whether I'm evil, or even whether I'm a dragon. I'm just me, and I'm not about to hold back now. I want to see you tiny beings put everything you have into defeating me. I want to see you really struggle. And that can only happen when you're fighting me at my full power. Taking a dive would suck all the fun out of it. Well, be damned. You almost sound as if you've written some serialized fiction yourself. Generally speaking, a good author should try to pit their protagonists against the strongest enemy they can think of. The more hopeless their prospects of victory seem, the better. Then you leave people wondering how they could ever overcome such a foe. However, you square that circle. There's nothing more dramatic than having your future protagonist triumph over seemingly impossible odds. Though, of course, if you can't pull that off convincingly, you'll just end up with a book that's barely worth the paper it's printed on. That is not an option. I want something entertaining. I want to see something truly wonderful. I want you to defeat me, and to see you weeping tears of joy when you claim what you desired. So what are you waiting for? If you're hoping I'll surrender, you haven't been paying attention. The only way you're getting your presents back is by prying them out of my talons. You're right. It doesn't matter whether you're evil or not. I have to defeat you, so I will. As both this year's Santa Claus and Mez servant, my job is to win this battle with a decisive KO. This may no longer be the Age of Gods, and you may have not stolen our water. But with these fists, I'm going to prove that humans are just as capable of overcoming your obstacles as ever. And I see no reason to change my party lineup. Oops. Wrong cast. Double wrong caster. Hopefully we don't have to go through minions again. Ooh. At least the crit rate went down. Quick chain. One down, 2 more to go. Damage cut. Ooh. I wonder if I'll be able to quick chainer. Oh no. Not as much damage as I thought. Oh, lucky. Oh, this time they two both bleh, those two both did die. Ooh, D stars. There we go. This should do it. Hopefully. Yes! And it removed her guts too. 3 dragon wings. Or is it those reverse scales? You may not be descended from Indra, but seems you do have ties to him. Will you be able to defeat me like he did? It's time we found out. Hurrah! I can and I will. That is who I am. If there was something you want, it's my job to give it to you. That's what I means to be Santa Claus. So if you want to see us surpass you, then that is the gift you will get. Now get ready for my other noble phantasm. This is a killer punch that only Santa Claus can unleash. A single cross counter guaranteed to KO any opponent. Graharaja Santa Cross. KO. Winner, Karna. That is my Christmas present to you. You won by KO. Then it seems this is finally over. Well done, Sir Karna. It was an honor to witness the birth of a new Dragon Slayer. Huh? What's going on with these readings? Do you think these might be... Something just shattered. Does this mean there was something else blocked off inside the secluded singularity? It said that Vritra sealed the world's water inside the Himalayas. So something here must have made it possible for her to seal away other things. Now that seal has been broken, then... That's right. At long last, we've broken the seal I've been searching for this whole time. Oh man, I want to read that new manga volume so badly. Immediately, if not sooner. Partly because I just straight up want to read it, but also because it's going to affect what I draw for the next con. Now that's finally here, might as well ride the wave of popularity. It's making like my own doujin based on it. But if I read it just before the con, I know I'll be so inspired to create that I'll end up wanting to make posters and bonus booklets too. And then I'll have even more trouble meeting the deadline than usual. So please, please let me read you. Wait, did that work? It kind of looks like the box is glowing. It opened! It actually opened! Well then, without further ado... Wait, Choto a minute. Is this... workout book, I'm guessing, or something? Did anything change? Or is the sun just brighter? Wow. Is that what the singularity is supposed to look like? It's beautiful. I knew it. Knew what? This is one of the reasons I knew the dragon not to be evil. I sense that whatever Vritra builds her dams in the world, or stops them from behaving as it should, there's something else that goes along with those deeds. Though unfortunately, as a child of a god who has lost most of humanity, I lack the words to describe it. To be honest, I noticed something of what you're talking about as well, though only faintly. The few pictures I've taken on this journey are proof of it. They are too magnificent for words, and it's nothing to do with my skill as a photographer. No, it's because the landscape we've witnessed are truly something special. I'm not entirely sure why, but there's something about them that simply shone brighter than usual. So I think what this means is that whenever Vritra traps something, it also results in something even better being created. That is admittedly only my personal interpretation. Still, I cannot help feel it is the case. Really? Is that even possible? Hee. It's not something I set out to do. It just happens. Her spirit origin has started to collapse. At this point, I think talking is all she can manage. There's a case to be made that, in mythology, adversity and obstacles exist to give people a chance for growth. After all, you can't overcome an obstacle without growing and changing. If you cut off access to something essential, like water, of course people aren't going to be happy about it. But the same way the energy stored up over winter goes into making plants bloom en masse in spring, it could well be that the land itself has to be sealed away to make this scenery beautiful. Maybe the concepts Risha really embodies are about growing through overcoming adversity and being the kind of necessary evil to promote further progress. But hey, that's just my own interpretation. I don't know about any of that. All I know is that I enjoy seeing people try their best to accomplish something. That said, since I do this sort of thing regularly, it is more entertaining to get stronger every time. That much is true. Which is why I'm going to keep tormenting you and the world you live in. Oops. All you have to do is show me how much stronger you've become. You'll need to, because when I come back, I'll be even stronger too. So you're definitely going to come back again? Coming back again. Of course, I'm an indestructible demon. Not even Indra could get rid of me for good. Okay, but we're kind of in the middle of something pretty big right now. So... Master's right. The truth is, we're already stretched pretty thin, so you'd really be doing us here if you didn't cause problems for a while. Oh? So there's another formidable obstacle out there besides me? If this threat is so great that humans, gods, and the world itself are banding together to fight against it, then it might be kind of novel to watch that struggle from the sidelines for once. If you're willing to help us fight, you're more than welcome to join us. Hehe, what a strange thing to say. You do know I'm a demon, yes? Still, now that we've formed this connection, maybe I will drop by, you know, if I feel like it. Just make sure you don't come to this threat before I have a chance to come and watch, you powerful little weakling. I won't, I promise. Considering you're already in my Chaldea. Reacher's signal has completely disappeared. Mission accomplished. Well done. I must say this whole experience has only reinforced the fact that Dragon Hunts rarely go as expected. It was a fine experience. Evil still runs rampant throughout this world. But at least there's none to be found here. That is a good thing. Does that mean I no longer have to worry about dying? That is music to my ears if it's true. I only came in the end to help with the foam. This still turned out to be good research. I never thought I'd get to see an actual dragon slaying for myself. If nothing else, it should make for a good set piece if I ever write an adventure story. Come on, let's go back. I still have another job to do. Does it mean it's finally time? That's right, it's time to deliver everyone's presents. Epilogue. Hopefully it's a short one. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, I can't believe this. So this is what that scene was foreshadowing all along. And then there's the soul put into each and every line. It's so well drawn, it almost looks like the panels are sparkling. Crap, I'm dead. I'm literally dead. I'm not worthy to behold such majesty. No, wait, I can't afford to die now. I still have time to make my winter deadline. I need to channel these impulses into something tangible before I explode. Okay, first I'll do a rough draft, then... Hooray, my gift opened, and turned out to be even better than I hoped. Maybe it's because I had to wait so long to open it, but it almost looks like it's sparkling. I'm so sorry about what I said before. You're not a meanie at all. Thank you, Santa. Oh boy, these carrots are so good I can't put them down. Me, Lu Bu. I think that's the only time Jax appeared in this one, compared to all the previous Christmases. Nothing but happy faces everywhere you turn. It's enough to turn my stomach. Don't you agree? No, I don't. Besides, it has nothing to do with me. Is that right? If you say so. Say, while you're here, can I ask you something else? As long as it's something I can answer. I can see Parvati figure out Richa's deal early on, since she's Parvati and all. But how did you figure out before everyone else? I think you caught on about when I showed up, so I was wondering if maybe I slipped up. It's because Karna said you were your usual self. He's never been one to fall for lies or treachery. Even as a human, he always had a sharp eye for the truth. So when he said that about you, I was sure that you were there entirely of your own volition. Well, yeah, I even said as much. It was the perfect opportunity to piss you and your types off, after all. However, you said there were some parts of what you were doing that you didn't like. I did? You did. So the question was, what was it you hated to do? I knew it couldn't be opposing us, Master. You're generally far too cynical to care about that sort of thing. I suppose you could have simply been sarcastic about it, but that didn't seem to be the case either. So I thought about what you would hate to do some more, and then I realized what the answer was. Loving people. We all know how much you hate your job as the god of love. So if you hated part of what you were doing with Richa, it had to mean love was somehow involved. That was when I began to doubt whether Richa's actions were truly evil. If you, of all people, were helping her willingly, then your doing so must have been in some way involved with love. Well, I'm sure you've heard of tough love before, right? Sometimes the best way to love someone is to give them a challenge they can only overcome by learning and growing. That was a necessary evil as far as I was concerned. Well, I was only hypothesizing at the time. I had no actual proof. So I decided the best thing I could do was entrust my altar to handle it in my stead. Since it's a child of the gods, he could determine good from evil from a truly impartial perspective. That's all I have to say about that. Was there anything else you want to know? Are you sure that's all there was to it? Hey, I am the god of love. I'm sensitive to this sort of thing. That's why I have to ask. Are you sure there wasn't something you were trying to give your altar by having him take over for you? I mean, he's entirely forgotten about his human life, right? So maybe you, for instance, want to jog his memory by having some time with your half-brother, especially now that he's been acting more like his younger self. That would be a lovely Christmas present to give your altar, wouldn't it? Whoa, watch where you're pointing at that thing. I'm a god, remember? I sense great evil within you. If you're actually a demon, that means Master Han. There's no reason not to erase you from existence here and now. Yeah, no. I could give you a few. Besides, the worst I get up to these days is a bit of mischief. I swear, this is the whole problem with humans who are too close to Shiva. They think they can just torch whatever they don't like. Well, don't worry. I can tell when I'm not wanted. Just don't shoot me in the back or anything, okay? I'm pretty sure my theory was dead on, but I still don't know why he trusted Karna to give his other self that gift. Unless he actually has more faith in Karna's ability than anyone else. Weirdo. I returned to my room, leaving the holiday din behind. Not that it was entirely unpleasant to hear. If anything, I actually like this kind of peaceful, joyous atmosphere. Sometimes I even find myself smiling. But none of that changes the fact that this holiday has nothing to do with me. I've never celebrated Christmas before, and definitely not about to start now that he's Santa Claus. Then, just as I go to lie down, I notice a small note on my bedside table. Who left this here? And when were they in my room? The note bears only a time slot for the combat simulator. I know right away what it means, and I know what is intended to mean to me. Yes, that's right. Christmas or not, I would never ask for a present. But even so, that doesn't mean there was nothing I wanted. Excuse me if anything that got through. Burpee. Is it because I don't have enough to do 100? Because I thought we unlocked the 100 roll now. Either way. Alright, all that's left to do is these Fighting Santa matches, the high difficulty quest, and farming. So, I will be posting stream recording those, but I'll probably just, they're going to be simple enough so I won't, speak for those. And also, this is where we'll be ending off. Have a good whenever. So long.
This お夕飯の準備がありますので。
古きルール。こういうこともできる。
終わりにし、落ち着いて。大丈夫。
こういうこともできる。しようかな。
本気を出して
命令とも
いいんですね。感じてください。これが私の天まで届く恋の波動、飛び集めシャッキ。
あとは
震え、凍てつき、砕け散る時まで諦めることは許さんぞ。では参ります。古きルール、古きルール。どれにしようかな。ベリー、高らかになれ。ベルトリンクアンプル残留十分。治療を再開いたしましょう。パーティータイム。なんだと。疾病、負傷、地上の害、すべてを許さず。参ります。アサルトネスフルバーストパーティー。
この
震え、凍てつき、砕け散る時まで諦めることは許さんぞ。
引きなさい。あなたのためだ。ゴーレム。
どれにしよう。古きルール。こういうこともできる。古きルール。どれにしようか
おう。
な。なんだと。
人中に呂布、馬中に石と。今や一つ。ローテーションコントロース。失敗。
震え、凍てつき、砕け散る時まで諦めることは許さんぞ。決めたよ。 お前は我が城の影に溶けるしかなかろう。古きルーン、古きルーン。こういうこと、こういうこともできる。古きルーン、
貫いてあげる。
なん命令とも。
思う存分やっていいのね。邪魔者にはそろそろご退場願おうかしら。メルトアウト。
次は答えるな。おい。
怖い怖い。
ねえ、なんだと。
ささやか
それよった。
やればいいんでしょ。楽しみましょう。楽しみましょう。あ、ルートラワルツエタワール。
何か踏んでしまったかな。決めたよ。お前は我が城の影に溶けるしかなかろう。
早炊きですカルウェナ。
古きルーン。こういうこともできる。古きルーン。
落ち着いて。これで終わりにしますから。運命をかけた戦いであれば熱を帯びなさいマルミアドワーズ。ちょっと不安ですけど感じてください。これが私の天まで届く恋の波動。トリシュール。
まだ。
北条様、当然とはいえ嬉しいものですね。皆さんのおかげです。お夕飯の準備がありますので。
こういうこともできる。どれにしようか。
終わりにしますから。
古きルーン。こういうこともできる。どれにしようか。
トレイス、わかりました。
命令とも。
先輩感じてください。これが私の天まで届く恋の波動。トリシュール。
さもっとだ。天下無双の力見せてやら。
落ち着いて、大丈夫。トレイス、ちょっと不安ですけど、感じてください。これが私の天まで届く恋の波動、飛び集めはい、倒れて、はい、逃げられると思っている。わかりました。
なんだ
先輩、このくらいなら。
もろいもろい。
それでは失礼しますね。まだまだ未熟者ですが頑張ります。特別ですが導いて差し上げます。白兵戦行きます。早立てです。カルウェイ自分を決め準備は運命をかけた戦いであれば早立てです。カルウェイ白兵戦行きます。ホールドアップ、無駄打ちはしません。ビッグウェーブイングランド。スイミングの時間です。勝利のペンエクスカリバービビアー。ここでまっす
我らは光、嵐の後に来る光である。
ええ、行きますよマスター。楽しみです。スイミング華麗、あまりにも華麗、小柱と知れエクスカリバービビアーン。狙い撃ちです。
軽い
エクスアポロン様。遠慮はしませんとも。スイミングの時間です。彼は勝利のペンエクスカリバービビアーン。狙い撃ちです。エクス特別です。導いて差し上げます。ビ ビロ楽しみです。スイミング華麗、あまりにも華麗、飛ばしらとキレ、エクスカリバービビアーンエクスアポロン様ホールドアップ早立てですカルウェナ早立てですカルウェナビッグウェーロックオンスイミングの時間です。この中では勝利のペンスカリバービビアーン
軽いな。
エクス今回はうまくいきました。